Apple just quietly dropped a new Mac Mini. No event, no keynote, no stage, just a press release on a Tuesday morning and a spec sheet that suddenly looks a lot more serious. There are new chips, higher prices, and this launch lands right at the end of Tim Cook's run as CEO. So Apple is selling this Mac Mini in two main versions. And the naming is going to confuse people. The base model uses the new M6 chip. This is Apple's first 2nm Mac processor. It has a 12-core CPU, a 12-core GPU, a dual 16-core neural engine, and it starts with 16 gigs of unified memory and a 256 gigs SSD for $899 in the US. The higher-end Mac Mini skips M6 entirely and jumps to M5 Pro. That machine starts with a 15-core CPU and 16-core GPU, but can be configured up to 18 CPU cores and 20 GPU cores. It comes with 24 gigs of unified memory and a 512 gigs of SSD and starts at $1,699. But here's the catch. Even though M5 Pro sounds older, it is still the more serious chip for sustained heavy works. It has up to 307 gigs per second of memory bandwidth compared to 170 on M6 and supports up to 64 gigs of unified memory. If you spend your day in Blender and Resolve, or you like running bigger local models, that bandwidth and memory ceiling are worth keeping everything from stalling. On the front of both models, you get two USB-C ports and a headphone jack. On the back of M6 version, you get three Thunderbolt 4 ports, HDMI and Ethernet. On the back of M5 Pro version, those three ports are Thunderbolt 5 instead, plus HDMI and Ethernet. If you are hanging fast storage and high refresh displays off this box, Thunderbolt 5 on the Pro model is a real advantage. There's also the price. Both of these new configs are $100 more expensive than the equivalent M4 and M4 Pro models. A couple of years ago, you could buy a base Mac Mini for $599. Today, the entry point for a new Mac Mini is $899. The design hasn't changed. Same 5-inch aluminum box, same bottom-mounted power button people love to complain about. The upgrades are all on the inside, and they come with a higher bill. Pre-orders are live now, and it starts shipping on September 22nd. Okay, now let's zoom out. Tim Cook's last day as Apple's CEO is August 31st. On September 1st, John Ternus, who has been running hardware engineering since 2021, takes over as CEO, and Cook moves into an executive chairman role. In the lead up to that handover, Apple has quietly cut a little over 200 roles across Vision Pro gaming and immersive video teams and parts of the Siri organizations. The reporting is clear that this is about shifting people and money toward AI and future hardware rather than killing Vision Pro or Siri outright. It looks a lot like Apple is clearing the runway. They are trimming expensive experiments that didn't really catch on, reorganizing Siri around newer AI architecture, and tightening up the lineup so the new CEO walks into a simpler, more focused company. So this Mac Mini is not some big emotional final product from Tim Cook. Apple never framed it that way. And on the surface, it is a chip refresh and a connectivity bomb inside a design they already had. But it is one of the last Mac announced while Cook is still in charge, landing in the middle of a visible shift toward AI and a new leadership era. So where does that leave you if you're thinking about buying? If you are a developer, editor, or creator who wants a small, quiet desktop that feels fast for day-to-day work and lighter local AI stuff, the $899 M6 model is going to be enough. You get the 2nm chip, better AI performance, faster storage, Wi-Fi 7, Bluetooth 6, and the usual Mac Mini flexibility. If your life is built around Resolve, Blender, LM Studio, or you are pushing larger local language and diffusion models, the M5 Pro version makes more sense. The extra cores, higher memory bandwidth, Thunderbolt 5, and support for up to 64 gigs of unified memory are what justify the higher prices. Either way, this little box shows what Apple consider baseline desktop performance right before a new CEO takes over. So let me know what you think. Is this a smart upgrade path, or is the Mac Mini starting to get too expensive for what's supposed to be the entry-level desktop? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If you want to see real-world tests with coding, video editing, and local AI workload on this thing, hit like and subscribe. I will catch you in the next one.